Welcome back. Today, we're going to focus on stretching and strengthening the back with twists, bends, and lengthening yoga exercises. Make sure you adapt any exercise to suit your body's abilities, giving it time to adapt through regular practice. Remember not to force yourself into any position. This is your practice. Be patient and take your time. Stand at the front of your mat. Feet hips distance apart, arms by your sides. Lift up your arms, palms together. Look up. Arms back down. And repeat this wonderful stretch. Sun salutation. Arms down. And this time, lift up your right arm up over your head and look up. And now, the left arm and the right arm down. And repeat on the right side, feeling those obliques. Give a nice stretch. And then the left side. And just gently gaze upwards. Now let's step more towards the back of our mats. Arms up in the air, palms together. In a back stretch. Just bend at your lower back, just above the lower back. Arms down, hands flat on the mat. You can bend your knees or you can straighten your legs in a standing forward bend. Whatever is comfortable for you. Or you can actually just place your hands on your knees or your shins. Now walk forward into a downward facing dog. And now down into a plank position, upward facing dog. Knees lifted just up off the mat. Back to a downward facing dog. Breathe. And let's repeat that. Down once again, upward facing dog. You can stand on your tippy toes a little bit. Back to downward facing dog. And this time you can bend your knees intermittently, just kind of oiling up the legs. Once again, down, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. And just feel this wonderful inversion. Now down onto your belly. Cobra pose. And this time your knees are actually on the mat. Back to downward facing dog. And just relax in this pose. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Knees down onto the mat. in a cat-cow posture. Bend your back, arch your back, head down. Look up as you bend your back and arch again. Do this a few times. This is a wonderful exercise for really stretching and strengthening the spine. Now just move your left hand forward and slide that right arm underneath in a twist to the left. You can place your cheek on the mat if that's comfortable. Now lift up and let's repeat that on the right side. Keep your hips squared off, both knees firmly on the mat. Feel that wonderful stretch. Back up onto your hands and knees. Bend your elbows and place your arms down on the mat and bend your whole body down so that it's like your chest is coming down onto the mat as close as possible. You can rest your head on your forehead on the mat. Now lift up and sit back on your heels for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now you can stand up on your knees, feet behind you, knees about hips distance apart, and place your palms on the back of your legs, just below your glutes, and do a little back stretch. Don't force this. If this is too much, you can try placing your palms at the top of your glutes, on your hips. Bend back. Give yourself that extra support with your hands. Come up. Sit back on your heels. Now let's sit between your feet, between the heels. Now we're going to move that left hand to the left in a twist. Twist to the left. Back to the front. Twist to the right. Try and keep your back straight. And twist back as comfortably as possible without straining. Back to the front. And take your time with these exercises. There's no need to rush. This is your practice. Now once again, sit up on your knees, feet behind you. And this time, windmill your right arm so that your fingers or your hand goes down to your heel, and bring that left arm up over your head, looking to the right in a stretch as you bend back. If this is too hard for you, then just place that right hand on your hip or on your upper leg. Now back up, and let's repeat that on the left side, placing those left fingers on the left heel, looking up, stretching up that right arm in a bend over your head. Keeping your hips just above your knees, in alignment. Now bend back. This is just another way, placing your hands on your hips again. If the other option was too difficult for you. Don't force this. Now bend that right arm up over your head, down to your right heel again. And this time you're going to do the same with your left fingers, so that both hands are down, holding onto the heels or the ankles in a back bend. Head back. Hips level with your knees as much as possible. Now back up. Support your back with your hands as you lower down to sit on your heels again comfortably. Now stretch your arms forward in a child's pose. This is a counter stretch to the back bends. And if you like, you can just place your hands on your feet if that's more comfortable. And place your forehead on the mat or your chin. Just rest for a moment, just to get your back released and relaxed again after those back bends. Lift back up. Downward facing dog. Just ease yourself into that downward facing dog in a flowing, easy manner. Fingers open. Heels flat on the mat. Take a few breaths. Now look up and back down onto your belly. Hands by your sides and lift up into a cobra pose, as high as is comfortable for you. Don't force. You can keep your elbows bent if that's easier. You can look straight ahead instead of back. Bend your elbows and release your chest back down onto the mat slowly. You can wiggle from side to side and just kind of adjust yourself. Just practice this a few times. Now you're going to lift that left and right foot up by bending your knees and bringing your heels to your butt. Hold on to your ankles and lift up, flexing your feet. Lift your head and your chest up. And let yourself kind of rock in this boat pose. Legs back down, arms by your sides. Bend that left knee and hold on to your foot, top of your toes, and pull your foot down to the side of your hip if you're able to, or touch the mat with your heel. But don't force. You can look to the left by bending your head, your neck, if that's easier for you. Or you can place that heel against your glutes rather than bending it all the way down. Now place that back down. And look to the right. And this time bend that right foot down. And hold it down with your right hand and push it gently and see if your heel touches the mat. But if not, just hold on to it and bend it to your glutes, or just straight up in the air without bending it too much if that's more comfortable. Hands by your chest. Lift up back onto your hands and knees. Left arm up in the air, straight up in a twist to the left. If this is too difficult, you can bring that arm down a little bit more level with your body. Palm back down onto the mat. And let's repeat this on the right side and raise that right arm up and look up to the right in a twist. This is a difficult exercise, even though it actually looks quite simple, so don't force it. Now lift yourself back up, downward facing dog. Now stand on your toes and bend down onto your chest again and up, upward facing dog. Look up and lift up, downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths and pedal your heels up and down again. As you take a few deep breaths and just release any tension in your joints, in your spine, just release it. Now let's walk forward in a forward bend. Palms flat on the mat. And this time, lift up that left arm and bend the right knee slightly, keeping the left leg straight, and look up. Feet flat on the mat. Repeat on the right side, lifting up that right arm, left knee bent slightly, left leg bent. Hands back down on the mat. Down onto your knees. Cross your legs behind you and sit back. I'm just going to turn here so that you can see the exercise from the other side. And just lower yourself down onto the mat and head down, up above your head. Stretch your arms up, legs stretched out. Now move that left and right knee up. And hold on to your feet with both hands on either foot. Or you can hold on to your calves if that's more comfortable. And bring your knees down to your armpits in happy baby's pose. And again, if this is uncomfortable, just hold on to your calves or, adapt the exercise to suit your comfort level without forcing. Feel this wonderful, relaxing stretch. Now you can straighten out your legs, hold on to your toes and open out your legs and stretch them. Stretch out those tendons. Now you can bring down your toes, your legs down towards your head. And just kind of play around with that stretch. Adapt it to suit your level of flexibility and comfort. Hold on to your toes, place your head down onto the mat, and just stretch. Now place your feet back down on the mat, arms by your sides. Lift up your legs and place your hands on your hips, lifting up your hips and your legs, and placing your weight on your shoulders and upper arms as you bend your elbows. If this is too much, then just lay down on the mat and relax. Now bring your knees down towards your ears. Hold on to your back with your hands, giving it support and keeping the balance. You can cross your ankles. You can just place your legs straight out over your head, your toes on the floor in a nice stretch. Now gently start to bring those legs up and down and feet back on the mat slowly. Now let's sit with our legs crossed as we come to a close of this wonderful back stretching and strengthening session. Now stretch your arms out in front of you as you bend over your crossed legs. Chin on the floor. And now let's change the crossing of our legs. This time we're going to place the left leg in front of the right. And we're going to bend forward over that leg in a hip opening stretch. Now come back up. Place your left leg straight out to your left side as far as it'll go, and bend your right knee and stretch over that left leg with your right hand. Look up or close your eyes. Hold on to your knee with your left hand if you wish. Now let's repeat that on the other side, on the right side. Bending that left arm towards that right leg and holding on to the toes with that left hand. This is also a wonderful stretch for the obliques and the spine and the legs. Soles of your feet together in a cobbler's pose. Or you can just cross your legs again if that's more comfortable. And we're going to cross that left leg in front of the right. Take a few deep breaths as we come to the end of this session. You can place your palms on your knees, face up. Close your eyes if you wish. Relax your shoulders and just let go of any tension. Lift your arms up to the sky, palms together, hands down in a prayer towards your heart. Namaste.